the current proposal that's out there now would have things launching with an alpha version of the marketplace, of the network marketplace. And so what they're asking for is a sub-segment, and they had talked about the 300 person seeing, and then that was totally triggered by the results of our community, where they said, okay, there's 302 people came out of the gate basically within the first 3 days and said, we're ready to roll. And they're feeling like that's a group we can work with to, get them acclimated with the alpha app and then give them a limited number. And so there's going to be, they're planning for 2 types of invitation links. One type that we would start with is just a one-time use link. And so there'd be 5 of those. There would eventually be normal links that you could use multiple times. But their idea is to start on a more controlled basis. Then there would be the beta launch. And that would be members of the community being loaded into the system in stages, receiving the beta app. And so the stage 1 would be the remaining activated members. So of that 779, there would be, approximately 500 or so that would be in that group of stage 1. Stage 2 would be Jivaka Synergy members that are like actively working with the physical product line would be coming in at stage 2. There'd be an opportunity for remaining Telegram channel members that have not raised their hand. This is approximately 80% of our active Telegram channel members. We would give them the opportunity to join at that stage. And then the final stage on the beta would be mVault subsegments by different asset levels. Following the beta launch, there would be a global launch, and that's when the network marketplace system would be open to the public, and there is an in-person event planned for that in Thailand. And as for timing, this would definitely be second half of this year. They're talking of the alpha starting in August, the beta starting in September, and the global launch in November under this scenario. I also want to make a point about the mVault integration. There's, the current proposal would have mVault serving as this network marketplace's Web3 hub. So some of the mVault functionality would be integrated directly into the network marketplace app. The rest of it would be integrated or would be accessible through mvault.com, and that's where all the dApps would be. And we're constructing and discussing a collaboration where they would be doing, this development group would be doing the build out of mvault.com. Now, with this happening, and under this current proposal, there would be a gradual rollout of DAO access. And, the idea is that it's likely that members with the earliest access to the network marketplace app would also have the earliest access to the DAO contracts. And, since there's a beta processes needed to ensure the smooth functioning of the DAOs, then ideally we would run that beta alongside the beta release of the network marketplace app. So this is something that it's important for people to understand. I think there's a lot of people perhaps that are under the impression, and truthfully, we were, considering, like, the plan was to just open that up. There would be a beta of sorts, but it was kind of, the idea was that any of our community would be in the beta. But as we've kind of developed this collaboration, it's become clear that the way we would do this would kind of go along with the same approach that they're taking with the app. And so it would end up having it so that those who are active in this project are going to get the initial access to the DAO and the functionality of those contracts. So I don't think that has been clear in the past, and so it's not finalized again, but it does look like that is the logical way that this would happen. And it does underscore the need, again, for taking responsible action. And for those who are doing that, who are taking responsible action, they will be beneficiaries of earlier access. And, I do think it's a shame that we didn't have more of our community kind of take that simple action of just agreeing to support in a minimal way. It wasn't asking for a lot, and yet we've kind of hit the 80-20 rule plays out once again, and so we have 20% of our remaining community that is really kind of loyal and active. And that's ultimately going to be, the 20% that gains the initial access to the governance system.